Hey, how you doing? My name is Jordan Greenup, and today I will be presenting to you my film Close to Freedom. Close to Freedom is a psychological drama based on the topic of addiction. It follows the character Skylar Macri, a 17-year-old girl who is trying to find her way around life, trying to find out who she is, her purpose in life, and she has been looking in all the wrong places. And that search has led her astray and led her to addiction, drug abuse, to alcohol abuse, to addiction to pornography, and it has led her to just a hole. And so Close Freedom is really about her journey from being an addict to being sober to being free from addiction. So the plot. Let's dive deeper into what really Close Freedom is about, right? By the way, these are some pictures that kind of give a description of what the film will look like. Some of the things that are going to be in the film. You'll see more of these photos as I progress throughout the presentation. Close Freedom, as I said, is a psychological drama. Follows a 17-year-old girl named Skylar Macri, and Skylar Macri is invited to a nightclub by her friend Taylor Keeshan, who's also 17, and Taylor leads her to a nightclub, and she introduces her to alcohol and drugs and anything that you could imagine that's bad. At the end of the night, they meet these two guys. They're in their early 20s, and they end up being raped by these two guys. Taylor ends up being murdered, and her body is found in the bottom of a dumpster. And Skylar, thank God, is still alive. But Skylar is taking the death of a friend very harshly, and so she dives deeper into drugs, dives deeper into alcohol to try to cope with the trauma, cope with the pain, the loss of her friend. And she begins to realize that she can't free herself on her own. And so she goes and finds help. She finds a psychologist by the name of Dr. Lionel. He's a 62-year-old man, very straight to the point, don't waste my time type of guy. And in the beginning of the film, it seems that he doesn't really care, but as the film progresses, it is shown that that's actually the opposite of his intention, and he wants to love Skylar, and he wants to bring out the best in Skylar. And she ends up, with the help of God, with the help of Dr. Lionel, with the help of a friend, she gets sober and she gets free from addiction. Now, why did I make Close Freedom? Why did I make this? What was in my mind when I was inspired to make this film? Well, I myself was addicted to pornography in my 6th and 7th grade year. It was a stronghold over me. My dad was an alcoholic, and he did some things to me and my mom that were harsh. And so that trauma piled on with the addiction of pornography. It was tough. It was hard. And as much as I wanted to get away from it, as much as I wanted to free myself from it, I couldn't. I want to share to the world how to be free from addiction, how to be free from trauma, and how to enjoy life again, how to be loved, how to show love. Another reason why I want to make this film is because there's just not a lot of films out there that really tackle, or at least the films that I've seen, they don't really tackle the topic of addiction or tackle the topic of trauma. And when they do, they don't really, by the end of the film, I'm left scratching my head like you've never given me really any way, like you've never given me any advice of how to free myself. It's just a story about a guy that went from addiction into freedom, but how can I be free? There was this film called Beautiful Boy. The main character, by the end of the film, he says that he's grateful that he's been free, but he says that there's still a dark void, a dark hole in his heart. And I want to share to the world, what can fill that dark hole, what's the filler of that void. And that's why I want to make this film. Now, some films that it could be compared with: Beautiful Boy, starring Steve Carell and Timothy Chalamet, made in 2018. It could also be compared with The Man with the Golden Arm, starring Frank Sinatra, made in 1955, and Naruto Shippuden, made in 2007 to 2017. I'll get more into why it can be compared to Naruto Shippuden as I continue the presentation. So now, my favorite part of the presentation, the key characters. Our main character, Skylar. Skylar is a very disoriented, nervous, anxious, confused girl. She's As I said earlier, she's trying to find her way around life, trying to find her purpose in life, but she keeps looking in the wrong places for purpose. And that search for false hope, that search for false validation has not only harmed herself, but has harmed those around her. Taylor. Taylor is the school slut. She's the school whore, the school prostitute. She was abandoned by her alcoholic father. She, like Skylar, is trying to find her way, trying to find the purpose of life. And she thinks that giving her body to boys is her purpose. And she doesn't value herself. And she not only devalues herself, but she subconsciously devalues others around her and spits out negativity onto others. Don is the lighthearted, he's the fun character, he's the bag of sunshine type character. He is a pastor's kid and he just wants to see everyone with a smile on their face. Despite the trauma that he's gone through, he wants to see everyone smile, he wants to see everyone happy, he wants to see everyone laugh. That's Don. And now for Dr. Lionel. Dr. Lionel, as the photo can suggest, he may seem cold, he may seem like he doesn't love people and he's distant from people, but in reality, his heart is very warm. His heart is very kind and he wants to love people, he wants to help people, he wants to see the best in people. And so that's Dr. Lionel. These are, once again, more pictures showing the mood of the film and characters more so. Now, why do I think that people would want to see this film? Well, as I said earlier, there are not a lot of films that tackle the topic of addiction and trauma, so that's one thing. But another reason why is because I want to capture addiction in a unique manner. In Close to Freedom, addiction, which is the antagonist of the story, is an actual person. It's a dark figure that terrorizes Skylar wherever she goes, wherever she is, whether she's at home, whether she's walking down the street, it doesn't matter. That man, that dark figure, that demon is always sitting next to her or always standing behind her. I made it like that because, addiction can kind of seem like there is a guy that's on your back all the time. And no matter how hard you want to knock him off your back, he's always gonna, riding on top of your back. And that's how I want to describe addiction. Also because, as I said earlier, Close Freedom can be compared to Naruto Shippuden. There's a fight scene at the end of the film where Skylar finally fights the dark figure, the dark person, and it's a sword fight, and I want to incorporate or have even better choreography in that sword fight than in Naruto Shippuden and in their fight scenes and their battle scenes. I want to incorporate that same choreography into the fight scenes. That's why I believe that people are gonna want to watch this film, because it brings something new, it brings something unique, something that's never been seen before. And people are searching for something that's new, and I am bringing that to the table. Now, marketing and reach. How will this film make money? Well, our target audience are teenagers and high schoolers, so that's 11 to 18-year-olds. Our secondary are college students from 18 to 22. And so the way that we're mainly going to sell this film is on social media. Close Freedom is going to have our own social media pages, official Instagram page, YouTube page, and Twitter page. What we're going to post on there is flyers, posters, and key art. We're going to post the flyers not only on social media, but in malls, in stores, in neighborhoods, at church. We're going to also post video advertisement, meaning trailers and short clips. And those short clips include interviews with the crew and the cast, asking them questions, what they feel about the film, how things are going, and giving the audience updates on how the film is going. We're also going to video the rehearsals and actors going through their script as a group. And our final way of getting this film out there is when Close to Freedom is 100% complete. We're gonna post it in a bunch of film festivals. I'm talking about Toronto Independent, New York Film Festival, the Cannes Film Festival, a lot of film festivals. We're gonna have eyes to see this film and really get people talking about Close to Freedom. I appreciate you taking interest in this film. Once again, my name is Jordan Greenup, and I appreciate it.